You are so feisty. You are a firecracker, and this person loves that about you. They love your sassy side and your no nonsense attitude. This is somebody that wants you to enhance that aspect of your personality. Don't be shy about it. Don't try to temper it down. Don't try to water yourself down, because this is something that it feels like almost makes this person feel very still in your presence. They may be somebody who is usually very dominant in how they move through the world, somebody with a lot of responsibility, a lot on their plate. A lot of people answer to them. They are the person in charge in their world. And yet, when it comes to you, this is like the yes, ma'am, yes, sir kind of energy. They become very much in a place of holding space for you to stand in that fullness, that potency, that fire, that personal power. There is something that feels very sacred about that experience of you kind of turning up your personality to full volume, you putting your foot down for them, you making it very hard for them to access that softer side of you, like the challenge, almost like you're playing hard to get, but you just have really high standards. All of this turns this person on. It feels very right, like the two of you balance one another out. You are exactly that type of sort of assertive energy that they have been needing in their life in order to allow more of an aspect of them that can kind of adapt, that can go with the flow, that can be very accommodating, to have space like in their life in general to be expressed, because how they move through the ordinary reality, there is no place for softness. But with you, it's like that softer side has room to come out and play. Yeah, we also have yin. So this is somebody that wants to see you thrive, wants to see you continue to amaze them with all the aspects of yourself that are becoming more obvious, more predominant in their presence, aspects of you that have awakened by their touch, by the experience, because you've definitely touched and awakened aspects within them that it feels like nobody has had access to. This is somebody that sees a lot of unique potential between the two of you. They are thinking about kind of a version of themselves that has never really seen the light of day, that they have never been comfortable expressing in a romantic connection, or that nobody has had that kind of right blend of sort of, chemistry and street smarts and beauty and grace and wit and intelligence, and pushback, and also like a yielding within you to kind of make this different version of them sort of come to the surface as well. So this is somebody that sees that the two of you are very well matched for one another. This is somebody that is very open-minded as far as what will happen between the two of you, what will be experienced, and it feels like it's something that whatever these kind of private experiences are between the two of you, this is helping them to feel very like fulfilled, very refreshed, in terms of like when they go back to their day-to-day reality, they sort of put that suit of armor back on, they put the mask back on, they show up as they need to within kind of their ordinary reality. There is this knowing that like I get to come home to you, or you both go to your separate homes and you have these like experiences with one another, and there's a side of me that only you see, there's a side of me that the world doesn't access. And so it's almost helping this person to kind of breathe a little bit easier, like to relax inside of themselves. They feel like a more well-rounded individual, because you are almost kind of that missing type of experience, that missing type of person that has opened up a whole new world of possibilities for them. Yeah, we also have soulmate. So this person definitely could think of you as their soulmate. They feel that you're a very good match. This is somebody that's very excited about ways in which the connection can progress, both the spicy things that will progress between the two of you, as well as the things that are a little more, kind of put together, a little more conservative. You wouldn't be sort of embarrassed to let others kind of see that, or showcase that in the light of day. This is something where overall this experience with you is deeply fulfilling for them. They want more of that. They are eager, they're enthusiastic. They're like, yeah, please bring this on, lay it on thick, as far as, kind of that sassiness, that spiciness on your side, because it's almost like they're meeting a version of them that they never knew existed. So in addition to kind of like how, the two of you are sort of blending your energies, blending your lives, blending your unique styles together, there's something kind of more to that where, as they part ways from you in the aftermath of these experiences or going about their day-to-day reality, they're seeing a new side of themselves surface. And it's a side of themselves that they like. This is somebody that may, typically be very stressed, very grumpy, very just kind of like, okay, I gotta put on that hard exterior, that cold face, that calm, cool, collected. That's just how I have to show up in the world because I got a lot on my mind, or it's the role that I have to play for others. But there's something where it's like there might even people around them are noticing like, hey, you seem like you're in a really good mood. Hey, you seem a little bit more relaxed. Like it's making kind of other areas of their life easier. People that might have been sort of intimidated or afraid to kind of like go ask this person questions, or kind of like bring something to their attention that would be different from kind of the agenda or what needed to be done, like in a professional sense. They're almost seeing that like they are becoming more approachable to others. There's more productivity that's happening around them because they are in some sort of way becoming like more yielding to the energy of expansion, the energy of efficiency, the energy of like, yeah, a part of myself that had been unfulfilled is now fulfilled through the experiences with you. And that's translating in a very good way in terms of like how others around me in my ordinary life are receiving me. And so this is something that they see you've made definitely a very wonderful impact upon them so far. Others are noting this positive change within this person, and it feels like though they are kind of mysterious or secretive enough that nobody's asking them like, ooh, have you met something, like, so what's different about you? But it's almost just kind of like they got a more cheerful attitude, and so people are being more cheerful. They're putting out better vibes into the world around them, and that is something that is being responded to as well by positivity. We also have message in a bottle. So this person definitely likes your private conversations, the time that is spent just between the two of you, kind of exchanging little inside jokes that you have, little things, that you can kind of just say to one another, like a word and you smile, experiences, memories that you have that aren't necessarily fit for public consumption, but it's just special moments between the two of you. All of that is something that helps this person to recognize we're building something very precious, very special, very memorable. Not all of it needs to be kind of like seen by people at this point in time, but I like that we've got this little private world just between the two of us. These exchanges that only need to make sense to the two of us. This is something where they feel also like a level of friendship or trust, or kind of like if you've confided in them or you've allowed them to confide in you about certain things, that is something that is really helping this person to sort of see like, hey, this connection where it is at this point and where it's leading in the future, this is something that's good for my well-being. It's good for my emotional well-being. It feels good to kind of have this sort of aspect of myself, that is developing, that is being responded to, that is attended to, that is recognized, that is kind of coming online just when I am with you, like in the midst of your presence. If you have like really deep discussions with this person, or if you've helped them kind of like work through some sort of trouble, like problem solving recently, they're very grateful for your input. They see you as somebody that has a really good head on your shoulders. You are somebody that gives really good advice, really sound advice. You're really intuitive. You are really wise. This is somebody that trusts your judgment. They trust your opinions. They trust even the opinions that you give them about the vibes you're picking off of other people, things that they might have mentioned, or people that you may be aware of, where you had told them things about that, or they'd expressed that there were certain difficulties, and you'd given not just sort of what you thought based on the surface, but like your intuitive impression about that. That feels to be something that was proved right, or they like followed that advice and it led to something really good for them, or the avoidance of something very negative. And so this is something where it's not just kind of like, okay, you're satisfying and pleasing to me like on an emotional level, or like a sexual level or physical level, But I also see you as somebody that to have you in my corner, to have you on my team, to continue to like have exchanges with you in an overarching sense. This is something that is like for my highest good. You are good for my well-being. You are somebody that has already kind of proven you have this person's best interest in mind, or you're somebody that brings like a very reliable energy, a very trustworthy energy to the table. Have unfinished symphony. So it feels like you may have recently had an experience with them that was cut short. Maybe some like a distraction happened, something interrupted it, somebody interrupted it, or it was almost a sense of kind of, if you saw that through to completion, this person definitely thought, I wish I had more time with you. I wish that we, could have made that last a little bit longer. I wish that person didn't come in and like interrupt the moment. I wish I didn't have to go. I wish I didn't have these other plans. I wish I didn't have this other commitment. Something like that. Like they definitely want to spend more time with you. They want to have more experiences with you. This is something that their affection for you grows every single day. This is something where it's kind of like the more that I get to know you, the more that I open up and express things about myself and how you respond to that, how you receive that, how we exchange based on that. This is something that is making me want to include you more in my life. There's not enough time in the world to be able to spend with you. Something where your conversations, even, it could feel like minutes have gone by and it's just been hours. There may have been something where you were like hanging out, you were with one another, and all of a sudden they like look at the time, like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. And then they're hurrying off really quickly. They don't like how that sort of happened, because there was a sense of almost sort of, you were in a very magical moment with one another, and it's like they had to break free from that. There was a disappointment. There was a letdown. If you felt that as well, they felt it. And so this is somebody that is almost thinking at this point in time, how can I sort of maximize our time together? What is it that I can do to kind of, create more moments with you, to include you more in my schedule, free things up in my schedule so I have more time to spend with you, have more time to talk to you, or at least just enjoy every little bit of time that we get to be with one another. Yeah, we also have mending. So you're definitely helping this person's like inner child to feel very safe, very secure, very seen. Because even if there are parts about them where it's kind of like they had sort of a calm, cool, collected, like a grumpy, like a rough kind of exterior, you've been very patient with kind of letting this person warm up to you at their own pace. You've honored sort of those boundaries that have been in place, or almost like a stiffness to their personality or to their energy. Or maybe this is somebody that works like a very exhausting job, a very like demanding job, and so there are times where they kind of just, they come home, or you start to interact with them and they're just like, I just need a minute, I'm really feeling sore, I'm feeling tired, I don't really feel good. It takes them time to sort of like warm up, or they have like, they need their quiet time for a bit. Whatever that sort of looks like in your situation, you have responded to that very well, and so it's made them feel like, hey, you are somebody that is not just here for like the ways in which I can serve your ego, or fill a void in your life, fill a space of loneliness, or maybe because the sex is great, or we got a lot in common, but there's something where it's almost like you care about this person's well-being. And it is making almost like a wounded child aspect within them, where they could be used to people that are just sort of like, it's very conditional love. Like people expect a lot, they demand a lot. There's only kind of like, I'm in your life as long as you're convenient. I'm in your life as long as like my needs are being served in some sort of way. And this person's needs, realistic, actual, in addition to emotional, could just be like secondary. They're afterthoughts, or when this person has kind of expressed those needs, or even kept them bottled up and then maybe reacted about certain unfulfilled needs, it wasn't taken well by people around them. You, on the other hand, are being very intuitive about that. It's almost like you're listening to the things that they are not saying. You're not being offended, or your feelings are hurt, or you're not kind of like punishing this person if it's like, okay, they're having an off day, they're having a bad day, they're stressed, they don't have time to talk, or they can't talk for very long, or they're kind of moody. Like that's something where you're not placating to them, but you're really like going with the flow of that. You're giving them space, or maybe you're able to kind of coax them out of their shell and sort of like, okay, let's talk about this, you'll feel better, just tell me what's going on, tell me what you need. Like you've been very attentive to them, and it feels like this is something that is very reassuring, where they want to come towards you more. They feel very safe in your presence. Like the idea of sort of expanding things emotionally feels like it brings a sense of safety with it as well. We also have to be fair. Yeah, so this is somebody that definitely looks forward to reciprocity, giving more into this situation because it feels like they've received a lot from you, a lot of patience, a lot of like active listening. You may have really been a space for this person, almost kind of even with your sassiness, your pushback, sort of you just like being that little firecracker. That feels to be something that has kind of allowed an aspect of this person internally to relax. And that has been a huge gift for them because it feels like this is someone who's very tightly wound usually. It takes them a long time to kind of warm up, to become comfortable with other people. And it's almost maybe previous relationships, people were like, you're very closed off. You're not opening up. You like loosen up, like express yourself, tell me, and that is something that has only caused this person to like retreat further within themselves. You, on the other hand, it's kind of just marching to the beat of your own drum has caused this person to sort of like change their tune in some sort of way. They're very yielding to you. This is somebody that is very much like, what do I need to kind of do? Like, show me, tell me, like, what needs to happen in order for us to continue to align more. They want to give more to you, more time, more affection, more energy, more meaningful exchanges between the two of you because they like who you are, they like who they become in your presence, and the time spent together is very meaningful. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.